All right, what's good? Facebook, it's your man Big Cool back with you from Colossal Sports TV with the homie. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's going on, man? This is Bakari, aka Cheetah Head, coming live from 216 Cleveland, Ohio.
All right, and we are associated with ThreeKingsBoxing.com, the best boxing media source for your latest boxing news and information out there. So be sure to check that out daily. But we about to dive head first in some of the hot topics, give our thoughts on last night's fights, and some of the foolery that comes along with us two crazy cats, man. But first up, Anthony Yarde, the self-proclaimed, the Lions Den or whatever the hell he is.
Lions in the camp.
Yeah, Lions in the camp. He went in to the Lions Den, and unfortunately for him, came out skinned and defeated. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna let you jump right into this, man, because you tackled a lot of this, a lot of the stories that's on ThreeKingsBoxing.com leading up to the fight, from Tunde Ajayi, his trainer, to the quotes from him and Frank Warren and everybody else. So what was your initial thoughts once the action started yesterday afternoon?
You know what? Honestly, like when the bout first started, first started, I'm like maybe and ultimately he did. I'm thinking maybe Yarde about to do something because he started coming out with that fast ass left hook. And then he was coming real close and kind of landing that hook kind of like off top. And in the beginning, the first several rounds, he was clearly way faster than Kovalev. And even though Kovalev's jab ended up coming alive in the outset, to me, he was like kind of pawned with the jab. And so I thought, Yarde, he might be on to something. But, going in, I was telling everybody to listen that I thought that Kovalev's experience would be too much, and I thought that Yarde would get knocked out, and ultimately that's what happened. However, Yarde, man, he earned a great deal of respect from me because he did so much better than I thought he was going to do, and he did better than I thought he was going to do. Period. And then once he got into them choppy, deep waters in the foreign territory, he showed big, massive heart. In fact, the UK Anthony's or the Cock Diesel UK Anthony's, like Joshua, when he got in them deep waters, shit, fuck that. When he walked into the ring, you could see shit all up in his eyes, like he don't look right. But Anthony Yarde, when he got in them deep waters and was clearly in trouble, he never buckled underneath the pressure. He seemed to, keep going for it. He kept trying to win. And even after he lost, his whole attitude was still, I'm still the lion in the camp. I'm coming back. Mm-hmm. And so I had much respect for dude, man. Much respect for dude. And last thing I'll say, everybody and I'm not saying it's not an issue, everybody keep harping on his trainer and the whole not sparring thing. But honestly, like, had I not heard nothing about none of that, if I just watched the fight, I never would have thought that dude hadn't sparred. I never would have thought he had as little experience as he had. If anything, his major issue to me is his stamina. Yep. And so he went deep in a hard fight here. But then if you've seen some more of his fights, he's had other fights that didn't go nearly as deep and wasn't nearly as hard, and he showed stamina issues. Mm-hmm. And so, like, his number one thing to me is stamina. And so that's kind of that. But no, much respect to Anthony Yarde, man.
Oh, yeah. Our boy from ThreeKingsBoxing.com, Corey, said he needs a trainer. That's all that's missing from the formula. Yarde is the goods. And we're going to discuss that later on. That's probably going to be the closing topic, Mr. Tunde Ajayi himself. But I think we agree he does need a new trainer, or he needs his trainer to implement a more traditional style when it comes to preparation for these big fights. But my thoughts exactly. I did the fight preview, and I predicted that Kovalev, the championship pedigree, the power, the better skill set, the experience, would be just enough to get the job done. And essentially, you know what I'm saying? I was right, but I expected it to be more dominant. I thought after the first 4 rounds, it would be Crusher, you know what I'm saying, eighth or ninth round knockout to, seal the deal. But, Yarde, like you said, that left hook was on point. It was fast. It was accurate. But I would have loved to see him set that jab. Use that jab to set up more very offensive attack, because when he did it, it was a thing of beauty. You know what I'm saying? And then in the 8th round, he started going to the body, and I was like, yeah. And then after that, I was like, bro, what the hell? Did you have a mental lapse that quick? It was like, dude, keep ripping him with those left uppercuts, those right hands. He was killing my man. He was killing Kovalev to the body, and Kovalev knew it. He let Kovalev off the hook. Instead of going head hunting, he should have punched himself out to the body. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much his downfall. You know what I'm saying? But the stamina is definitely an issue. He's gonna have to lose some muscle mass. You know what I'm saying? He needs to spar, because, like Tim Bradley said, the company man himself gets you prepared for different, potential outcomes in a fight. Because you're gonna have some grueling sparring sessions where these guys are just gonna be rough, rugged, and gonna be persistently on your ass trying to, best you, because it's just like a real fight. Sparring, both guys looking to prove something. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to look to continue to get work or prepare yourself for your own fight. He definitely needs to implement sparring, more strength and conditioning, lose some of that muscle mass, because, like I said, we know even a regular size guy, a swing and a miss, it takes a lot out of you. But when you got those big ass muscles that pumping a lot of blood, and you swinging and you missing with the velocity that he was swinging and missing, it's just gonna make you even more, tired. But like I said, man, he is definitely the goods. He definitely
he's the goods, man.
That I would love to see again, soon. He got excellent. He ain't the best moving, but he's definitely good enough to become a world champion, and to, if they fight again, I think that he probably would get him, because this is a learning experience for him. You know what I'm saying? And that's just, what it is.
Oh, that's dope.
And Corey said, yeah, Yarde is an elite level boxing athlete. Yarde has never been past 7 rounds, both mentally and physically. He was tough as shit. He was. You know what I'm saying? He definitely was. And that's a testament to who he is as a person, as a fighter. He might have came up short, but there's no shame in to losing to a future Hall of Famer in Kovalev. Kovalev, you admitted it. He a great fighter. You were great, and trust me, he know great fighters when he see him. He been in the ring with Andre Ward. He fought the great, all-time great Bernard Hopkins. He's been in there with probably a guy that might be a Hall of Famer down the line, and John Pascal. You see what he did to Marcus Brown. So he definitely knows greatness when he sees it. And so, it was a great match.
I agree with all of that. You know what? I won't. It is what it is. But you know what? I think it's like tomato though, because it's like I wouldn't necessarily say he let him off the hook. He did, but I don't think it was that he changed his game plan. I think it was just he simply shot his wide in the 8th round. And if he had any gas left in the tank, I think he would have beat him in the 9th. But nah, man, he gave that money shot in round 8. He was just ready for the nap in round 9. And even the knockout, and again, if you were to ask me, I would have thought he was going to get slept, hit and then laid out, knocked out. But really, it was more an exhaustion thing.
Yeah, he was like,
then it was like, he just got knocked out. He just got hit and just didn't have shit left. And so, no, I definitely want to see him come back. And then, like you say, because I remember I actually covered Kovalev versus B-Hop live, because they was in Jersey when they fought. Okay. And before that fight, I was going with B-Hop, because I thought it was going to kind of be like another, what's his name, Kelly Pavlik situation.
Yeah,
me too. The old veteran. Now, I thought Kovalev was better than Pavlik all around.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I still thought that B-Hop would find some wily veteran tricks, and he was going to pull it out. And no, sir, because that dude, I remember watching like he has beat my dude from corner to corner, like he's whooping B-Hop's ass.
Yeah,
and
he was.
That's the fight where I became a believer in Kovalev. Yeah. And so Kovalev, and it's just funny because like I like underdogs, and going into this fight. Again, as a boxing fan, you gotta separate the people outside the ring with the fighter inside the ring. Yeah. And so Kovalev in the ring is a monster. Like if you try to deny that, you just lying or don't know.
Yeah, you just don't like him. Yeah.
But outside the ring, to me, he seemed like an asshole, and I wanted him to lose. But he did his thing, man. And I'll even give Kovalev credit because. Once he was getting his ass whipped in the 8th, I'm like, it's over. And I figured he was going to check out. But just like I gave credit to Anthony Yarde, Kovalev dug deep. and Buddy McGirt, Mr. I ain't going to watch no more fighters die. He was wasting no time. He was like, you take any more shots.
It's over. I'm going home. Look, I can't do this now. I can't be at 2 funerals in like the less of month. And shit like that. Corey said his corner kind of let him down. He was gassed and hurt, but they kept sending him out there. Yarde definitely gives my respect. I most definitely agree. But like my man Cheetahhead said, he blew his wad. And the reason why he did that, because the lack of experience for one, you know what I'm saying? And no sparring. Because that sparring you're taught, you got to go the extra mile. You know what I'm saying? That running is cool. But you're not a track athlete. You know what I'm saying? You're not a football player. You know what I'm saying? You're not nobody just running, going to be running primarily. You need to be able to have body weight on you, being punches thrown at you to get acclimated to that so you can think, oh, shit, let me hold. Let me, do anything I got to do. You know what I'm saying? And then he just didn't have to go for the kill right then. Yeah, even though you hurt and they teach you, go for the kill. If you're tired, you're tired. So you got to take back, add some finesse. All right, next round, pick up right where I left off. I'm going straight, head to the chest, and I'm ripping body shots. I'm not throwing nothing else but a jab to get in close, and that's it. But like I said, we're going to talk about it later. I felt like his trainer really, 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 did a big disservice to him, knowing that this is the biggest fight. And like my man, again, Cheetahhead said, it wouldn't have been a big deal if they ain't open their mouth and say, oh, we didn't do no sparring for that. So that made it even worse. So that kind of it gives Yarde more credit, but it also makes Ajayi look like a straight fool because it might be your only, I ain't gonna say only opportunity because I think Yarde is the goods, but this could be your only opportunity to say you trained a world champion, and that's why I don't like, man, the egos. We're gonna talk about it later, man, because
and and I probably should wait, but in terms of Ajayi again too. He wouldn't have looked so bad if he had just said, listen, man, these are our training methods and we are orthodox, but we got faith in it. If he had just kind of kept it on that level, I don't think people would be clowning him so hard. Yeah. But he talks so much shit. And then it's going to be easy and we're going to make this look easier than Andre Ward and all of this, we knocking him out quicker. Like if he hadn't talked so much big league shit, I think people would have been easier on him. But and a lot of people have said it to listen to them talk. You would have thought that Ajayi was going to get in the ring and fight because if you really go back and listen to all the pre-fight hype, Yarde didn't really talk too much shit. All he basically said was, I'm confident I'm going to win. And he was like, his lines in the camp, we're going to go do it in Russia. But he never really talked no monster shit like that. It was his coach doing all of that jaw jacking.
Man, but hey, learning lessons. Life teaches you lessons that you have to pay attention and learn from and move on. And I think this is definitely a learning lesson that he will take and move forward tremendously, because I still look against Arthur Bearderbeef. I think he can beat him. He showed a tremendous chin. A lot of people, us two included, fucking thought. Once that right hand land, a few of them. He said, "Be cool. Cheetah head, watch this. I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?" But he showed that he got chin with that stamina issue and still being able to take that much punishment. I hate to see how he is when he in shape. You know what I'm saying, and all that. So I just hope that he didn't take too much, because it's tricky now when you watching these fights. At least for me, I'm like, man, maybe they should stop it. Maybe they should, just because you just don't know what punches do it. If it's accumulation of punches, a big punch, or what. So I'm glad to see that he came out okay. He's got his mind still in good spirits, and know that he just got to approve, man. So we're gonna move on to the next topic. Juan Francisco Estrada, my man Cheetah Head. Yeah, I started watching some of it. I got in the third round. I ain't see a lot of it, the whole fight, but I read your recap and it was an excellent one. So tell us about this fight, man. Not Willie Beamon. Shout out to my man's 2K. Not Willie Beamon. Dewayne Beamon from North Kakalaki was over there in the champions territory in Mexico, Mr. Juan Francisco Estrada, and gave him an excellent fight. Give us your assessment, man, verbally, to what you saw last night and what went wrong for me.
Excellent fight, man. And ironically, I really thought it was going to be going into it. I was looking at it almost like Kovalev versus Yarde. Like, I'm like, Estrada got more experience. He kind of been here before. I thought, he was going to be pretty much in control. But, man, and I keep want to call him Willie Beamon myself. Actually, Mr. Stop Running. But Beamon, he did excellent. In fact, his only two. He had two critical mistakes that he kept making. And one, he just refused to play defense. And then two, he kept getting too greedy. And so whenever he was like kind of like working behind his jab and like hopping in and out, man, he was giving dude massive trouble, man, massive trouble. But it was clear that Estrada had the bigger power because Beamon's power was respectable. But when he was getting hit, it looked like he was feeling that shit. Like, let me back up. You kind of see it a little bit better. But Beamon had Estrada frustrated for quite several rounds. Especially, you said you were watching. Did you see the round when Estrada started clowning on the ropes?
Was it later? Was it later? I didn't get past the third round, so I ain't see that. If it was past that,
I think it was around like 4 or 5 or something like that. But Estrada was against the ropes, and then he kept putting his arm on the top rope, like inviting him in. Now, the first time he did it, it was kind of funny. But then he kept doing it and kept doing it. But he wasn't landing no punches. In fact, he was doing it and he was getting hit. But and considering dude was Mexican, they was fighting in Mexico, Beamon had the crowd quiet for like long stretches of that fight. But like I say, he kept getting too greedy, and then he kept not playing responsible defense. And he got hurt over the course of the fight. He got hurt a number of times. And like he got hurt earlier in the fight. Not like
Starter, right?
Beamon. Well, I say he got buzzed a number of times. And so the first two times he got buzzed, he kind of got through it. But what round? I can't remember when the fight ended. But the last time he got hurt, he never really recovered. And then he never really played defense. And then dude started hitting him. And he got hit one time, like with a straight right. I want to say like in the ear. And then it was kind of like over after that. His equilibrium was off. He wasn't fighting like he should be. But dude did a great fight, man. He fought a great fight, except for them two mistakes, getting too greedy and not being defensively responsible. Because I don't know what tough man contest he thought he was in, but it's like, man, you can go backwards, man. You can put your hand.
You go side to side. You know what I'm saying? You can bob and weave, and Can you see the comment on the screen?
Who?
Can you see the comment on the screen?
Yeah.
All right. So this Carl Hughes, he said losing every round except one. We're gonna backtrack just a little bit. and finished with a jab. Yarde with school. I highly disagree. He was. I don't know. Now you no hell no. He wasn't school. He didn't lose every round. You could split those first 4 rounds, and then he won maybe round 7. Definitely won round 8. You know what I'm saying? So that's 4 rounds and a 12. I mean, it was a clear victory. It was headed that way for Kovalev, but it was what we call a competitive but clear, you know what I'm saying, unanimous decision loss. I don't see him being schooled whatsoever.
He ain't schooled. I don't agree with that because he ain't get schooled. Like that's not a school. How you get schooled when you almost stop the dude? Like
how you get schooled and still get respect from people. People are like, oh motherfucker, you just no, you know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, no, he definitely didn't get schooled, man. We disagree with that wholeheartedly. I mean, he had fucking Kovalev on the fucking ropes. He had him. You know what I'm saying? And it started to look bad because he was exhausted and he didn't have the experience. He didn't know to hold on. He didn't know what to do because he had never been past 7 rounds and he had never faced a guy that's going to the Hall of Fame in Sergey Kovalev. So, I mean, I respect your opinion. We respect your opinion, but not.
Because even Kovalev said in the post-fight, I saw some footage after the fight, but even Kovalev said in the post-fight, like, man, you the goods. Like, you're going to be a champion. And he said himself, like, man, you know how to move. You knew what to do, when to do. Again, if I did not know before the fact that he didn't have – if I didn't know about his lack of experience, if I didn't know about his sparring, that never would even cross my mind, like, that he didn't have that kind of stuff. And especially like the first 2 or 3 rounds, I ain't gonna say Kovalev was tentative, but you could clearly see that man thinking like, how am I gonna get in here on this dude? Like, he in my opinion, he held his own. He more than held his own.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I don't know what fight. I mean, maybe you had more expectations for Yarde than we did. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason you're saying that, but I don't see. I mean, I don't know what because I mean, he's saying he got schooled. I mean, I can go back and rewatch it, but I don't see no schooling at all. This is not a B-Hop, Kelly Pavlik, or Carlos Quintana, Paul Williams 1, or Erislandy Laura, Paul Williams fight where he was just, it was like, it don't matter if they robbed him or not. We knew who won. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like
Lacey got schooled, like.
Yeah, Lacey got schooled by Kawasaki.
That's okay. That's getting schooled. Like, nah, man, I can't say that man got schooled because, like, I think you said earlier, if for some hanky reason they had to do an immediate rematch, I would pick Yarde to win.
Yep. Because all he need is sparring. I still think he need a better team. I'm not saying Ajayi is a bad trainer whatsoever, but you know, his method of madness didn't work, and it won't work moving forward because now you just, you know what I'm saying? All right, our boy Corey said that he had Yarde up 4-2 after 6. So I mean, that's a difference of opinion. I can't say that I agree or disagree because sometimes I find myself getting caught up in the action and not really, you know, looking to score the fight. That's why I watch it again for, you know what I'm saying, later on to really dissect it and, okay, boom, boom, boom. But I know at the 6th round, that fight was close. That's all I know, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, Kovalev the type of guy, he ain't giving you no credit. You know what I'm saying? If you not the goods or you didn't give him a good fight, he ain't going to say it. So
he don't even like black people, right? So you know he ain't giving no credit to no Spade if he don't believe it. Like,
hell no. But now we about to jump back to Juan Francisco Estrada. He stopped Dewayne Willie Beamon. We're going to combine those names in the 9th round. And next up is a potential matchup with Kal Yafai, or his name is Khalid, really, Yafai. 26-0, 15 knockouts. He is the WBA super flyweight champion. That will be a unification bout. I've seen Yafai fight. He is a good fighter. He can box. He has some good power. This is a fight that has more intrigue now to me going into it before last night because I just expected, I expected Juan Francisco Estrada to dominate Beamon. But obviously that didn't happen on the scale of my expectation. So this fight between him and Yafai can be a 50-50 toss-up, man. What's your thoughts? Have you seen Yafai fight?
I don't think I'm too familiar with the other guy, to be honest with you. But like you say, even having said that, not to sound crazy, it's a whole new intrigue to it because he got more experience than Beamon, and and he's a champion, and like I say, you saying he got decent power because two things about the fight last night is okay, Estrada won. I give him his credit and all of that. I'm not saying nothing against that. However, I don't really feel that, Estrada figured anything out or necessarily, he took the win so much as Beamon's poor game plan or his poor execution kind of like gave him the win, if that makes any sense. And so, and so that's one. And then two, like all that clowning and clearly being frustrated in the ring that Estrada showed, I didn't like that neither. And so had Willie Beamon, stayed on his game better and stayed behind that jab and stayed a little bit more composed, I think Estrada would have lost last night. And so if you get a more experienced guy in there with a little bit more pop and can stick to their game plan, Estrada, I ain't gonna call him food or nothing like that, but he definitely is vulnerable. I'll say that much.
Yeah, because he's getting up there in age, and like he's a future Hall of Famer, no doubt as well. Excellent fighter, but as you see, once you get older and you fight these guys that are more naturally athletic than skilled, because in Beamon's case, he started boxing at 26 years old. So imagine if he would have started 5 or 7 years prior to that. You know what I'm saying? Imagine.
Crazy. They said that boy didn't turn pro until he was 30. Like, that's crazy.
I didn't even think he was that old. When I was watching, that was news to me. I'm thinking he about 20, 20-something. But look, man, these athletic guys, it's kind of like maybe not a good comparison, but NFL, you see they switch to more so a dual threat type of guy, a guy that can run and pass. You know what I'm saying? And they got that raw skill. They got that potential. But right now, we're just going to throw your ass out there and, improvise. Make us some plays and win. And when you got that athletic ability, man, you might not win the fight, but you athletic enough, quick enough, fast enough to make it real uncomfortable for these favorites, that you're going up against. So, Francisco Estrada is definitely a great fighter, definitely a future Hall of Famer, but he needs to clear that up, and going ahead if he's trying to become undisputed super flyweight champion. But he's always been that type of guy. You know what I'm saying? He has that resolve. He has that power, that boxing ability. You see what he did against Sorambasai in their rematch and hell in their first fight. He can box from the outside. He can fight on the inside.
The rat master.
The rat master. You know what I'm saying? He can do it all. So, we shall see if that fight goes forward like Estrada wanted to, as well as Eddie Hearn. Next up, Andy Ruiz Jr. finally agrees to the Anthony Joshua rematch in Saudi Arabia after getting them extra M's in that contract. So that means more tacos, more enchiladas, more fajitas, all that for my man. Hell, and I'm with him on that. I love Mexican food, but this ain't about me. It's about Andy Ruiz, the heavyweight champion of the world. Finally, we have an end to all this shit, and now we can talk about the preparation of the fight and more, sound bites and shit they're going to give us leading up to December. What is it? December 7th? Yeah, December 7th. So, what do you think? What are your thoughts, man? How much money you think he got in that motherfucker that really enticed him?
I don't know. I don't know, man. He probably got at least 12 to 15, I would say, somewhere up in there. But like you say, I'm glad that both teams are now publicly saying they're on the same page. I'm happy about that. I still think Saudi Arabia is a goofy location.
Yeah.
And I mean, unless it was like in New York, I wasn't gonna go. If it was like in LA or the UK, I wasn't gonna go. But aside from like actually being there in person, I just for for example, like both fights last night, the Yarde fight and the Estrada fight, you know, the atmosphere was dope, you know, and then I just can't see the Saudi Arabia atmosphere being all that exciting, just period. And then they're gonna be in some slapped together, you know, arena that they making as we speak. Like the location to me is goofy. That's just some Eddie Hearn shit. But aside from that, you know, I'm happy that it's on. I'm happy that both sides are saying that it's on. And like hell, we still in August, and so we got plenty of time to train. That everybody can do what they want to do. Because I've been hearing people saying Andy Ruiz ain't training and he ain't in shape and all of that shit. And so we got more than enough time to put all that to bed. And if they're gonna do VADA testing, we got more than enough time for them to get enrolled and have a number of months doing that training. Because you know what? I don't know, since it's really come out, maybe you have, but I haven't really seen anybody come at AJ or Eddie Hearn himself about these therapeutic use exemptions and you know, all of that stuff. And so I really want to hear more about that, especially since Gerald Miller got popped dirty under the Matchroom banner. Jarrell Miller, not Jarrell.
Dillian White.
Dillian White popped dirty under that banner, and then both of the dirty dudes said this third guy's dirty, and he's under the same banner. Like, I'm real curious to hear some more about that. But no, I'm just excited it's all official and ain't nobody beefing no more.
Groove gonna read this comment and keep it moving. Duncan Garvey said Yard needs to lose so much muscle. He was in the featherweight. Seriously, he wasn't knocked out. He was exhausted. He just fell over. Yeah. Pretty much, when you get knocked out by a jab, we got to call it what it is. When you do like that to a jab, you definitely exhausted. But yeah, he don't need to lose that much. He just need to lose enough to where he could not feel it as much early as he did. You know, he shouldn't have been that tired until about the 8th or 9th round. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's a learning experience, and you know, he gonna get better for it. My take on Andy Ruiz, finally agreeing, is good. I'm happy that saga, that so proper portion of this saga is over. Now we can discuss the things that we love to discuss, and that's the stylistic matchup, the technical and fundamental aspect of the boxing game. What can Andy Ruiz do? Like my man Cheetah Head just mentioned, there has been rumors and you know, nonsense. I ain't gonna say nonsense because it could be true, but there has been rumors and things going around that Andy Ruiz is not in shape. He hasn't been training. He letting this, you know, success being on Jimmy Kimmel, getting flown out to Mexico, Puerto Rico, you know, getting his stomach rubbed by all the Hispanic women out there get to his head that he ain't training. He's sitting in there in his Scarface office saying, "Where the tacos at? Come on, Holmes, where the tacos at? You know, what a carne asada, you know." Hell, even Tyson Fury, the lineal heavyweight champion, alluded to that on the telecast last weekend. Where what's my man? The fucking you know, the guy that fucking knocked out Isaac Dogbo. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I can't even think his name right now. But he alluded to it, said, "Yeah, I know, you know what I'm saying, that he's not training." But that's the big key to this, man. Because we know one thing Anthony Joshua doesn't have a problem with doing, and that's training. You know, he tends to be in good shape, even with the big muscle mass. You know what I'm saying? He's training. He always seems to be in some good shape. Andy Ruiz, we know his big problem, more so than him being an undersized heavyweight, is his history of fluctuating his weight. I know he came in at 262 or something in the past. I mean, and that has, you know, hampered his ability to be successful. You know what I'm saying? And that can't be the key in a fight that this is his life. This is his livelihood, man. I don't care if you're getting a big whatever you're getting for this rematch. You want to go down as a great, not a one-hit wonder. You want to be a guy that's inducted into the Hall of Fame. Name is mentioned amongst some of the greatest heavyweights of all time: Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, Joe Louis, Lennox Lewis, Larry Holmes, Rocky Marciano, the list goes on and on. So he's going to have to make sure he in tip-top shape. Footwork needs to be improved. And I mean, he just going to have to improve because he got a motivated Joshua, it seems that way. Mm-hmm. Ruiz is on record saying that he's going to end the career of Joshua. And to that point, Cheetahhead, do you think a victory again over Joshua by Ruiz puts that final nail in the coffin?
Well, technically no, but it's because like I say, man, that's the one thing I do like about MMA though is like they're allowed to lose. They're allowed to lose. They're allowed to lose more than once and come back. And I believe boxers should get that kind of leeway as well. And so technically no. However, I do think it depends on how he loses is a big thing. But again, I'm notorious for saying, and I go out on the limb already because I think Anthony Joshua is going to lose, man. And it just comes down to he ain't proven to me, not that I'm his daddy or nothing, but he ain't proven to me that he can win outside the UK. That was the whole point of him coming to the US is to win on the road. And he ain't proven that yet. And so now, true, he's not coming back to the US, but he ain't going back to the UK. And so until he can prove that he can win on the road, I ain't betting on it. And in terms of like Andy Ruiz, and I'm not saying he's either one of these guys at all, but like you got like a Manny Pacquiao who his whole career, well, not his whole career, but definitely for the last 10 years or so, people are always saying he's doing too much. He's out here singing in clubs at night. He's doing this politician stuff. Is he taking this serious? And then he get in the ring and start whooping ass. And then you got like a Floyd Mayweather. And again, I'm not saying that Andy Ruiz is no Floyd Mayweather, but he's the same type. He's all over the place at the club, kicking it with strippers and shit like that. But then, he do what he got to do when he get in the ring, and he do what he got to do. And so, I'm not running around here holding Andy Ruiz's hand. And so I don't know if he's training or not, but I'm not mad at him because he really went from like a relative unknown outside of like hardcore boxing fans to not only are you this champ, you the first heavyweight Mexican champ ever. And then, everybody in 3 different nations is trying to get you to come and appear. And like you say, them draws is flying out of every window, out of trees. Like, man.
They coming out the ground.
Yeah, like, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to enjoy some of that. Nah, you ain't supposed to go too far with it. But hell no, I'm not going to chastise this motherfucker for enjoying the fruits of his labor. And you can't tell me that this dude really ever dreamed that it was going to come to fruition like this. And so, like I said, I can't be mad at that man for enjoying his victory spoils. But I hope he is training, and I hope he does take it serious. But again, and past that, and back to like the nuts and the bolts of the fight. Assuming both men train properly, assuming both men are taking it serious, I think AJ has the steeper hill to come up because I think that he has the more adjustments to make. He has to kind of change his style around a little bit more. And, well, I'll leave it at that. I think he has more adjustments to make. And again, I don't know if he can do it. And I'm notorious for talking about all of this mental stuff. And he ain't seeming mentally right to me still. Because he all over the place. Like right after the fight, he was very respectful. But then he started showing all of these, like, to me, he was going overboard, showing all these training videos. Like, I'm training. Now he's trying to turn into super thug. He coming out here like he the game and shit. Like, no, cuz, ain't no squares in my circle G and all of this hot boy shit. Like, man, just come on, man.
Like, you got knocked out by undersized, overweight Andy Ruiz. You out here trying to come at the great Lennox Lewis, bro. Like,
You're
I
doing too
mean,
much, man. You're doing too much, and to me that shows a lack of focus, man.
yeah,
And again, if Andy Ruiz is out here doing extra, I mean that's kind of like, I hate to say it, but it's kind of expected. This is just human psychology, but with dude Anthony Joshua, you've been this big superstar. You've been in the limelight. And so for you to feel the need to do all of this extra shit, like I say, to me, mentally, that's showing some chinks in his armor. And so if he go over there, well, they'll both be in foreign territory. But if he go over there to foreign territory and he get into rough waters, and AJ has been known to have stamina issues himself, and so if he get into rough waters himself, I think he'll crack before AJ does.
Oh, you think who will crack?
AJ.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying if one of them had to crack, I would be on AJ cracking first.
Man, to your point about Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, I'll say this about them. Even though we all worried about that, one thing I don't think it's necessarily that people care that he's doing all the extra stuff right now. Is that he doesn't come in shape. Now, so if he was always notorious for coming in shape and, not really abusing his body, but, he like to go see the strippers and, go, do shit like that. I'm like tripping, like, oh, that's just natural, you know what I'm saying? But with his excessive eating, and drinking, not alcohol per se, I don't know what he's doing in his personal life, but, the shit that puts pounds on you rather quickly, that's what I think a lot of people getting at. But like you said, that's not our concern. Our concern is to report the fucking shit that we know, report the facts, give our opinions, and be straight down the middle on it. So at the end of the day, it's his life, it's his career. If he knows what's at stake, if he wants to become a fixture in the division and remain champion and go on to big fights with Wilder, Fury, Usyk, whoever else it may be out there, then he gonna do what he got to do. But if not, he gonna fuck it away and enjoy whatever millions he get in this rematch and go back to obscurity. So we shall see, man. I just hope for an excellent competitive fight. I don't care who wins, you know what I'm saying? Because at this point, it's a big storyline regardless. It's, he fucking did it. He did it again. And if AJ wins, oh shit, we get that Wilder, Joshua, that Wilder Fury shit, you know what I'm saying? Or the Joshua Fury. So, a win for Joshua may be better in terms of matchup just because his size, his strength, and his ability. But that's not our job to care about that. Our job is to report it, the facts, give our opinions, and that's what it is.
I haven't heard. Let's assume that Anthony Joshua wins. Do you know if there's a rematch clause for Ruiz? Because if Ruiz lose, are we going to get a trilogy or?
That is a great fucking question. That is a great question. I would hope so. I would
imagine them coming up with a rematch clause.
Money good, but if you lose, you want to have a chance to get that shit right back. So what they said is he signed the contract, before the first fight went down. He agreed to a figure. So I don't know. Obviously, Al Heyman ain't no stupid guy. You know what I'm saying? So he has to know, look, put that rematch clause in there for me. You know what I'm saying? He did it for him. I'm the champion now. It's a good chance that I can lose. You know what I'm saying? Because he did drop Ruiz in the third round. So we can't forget that. Even though he was dropped and stopped, he did do that so he could do that one more and fucking finish him. So, hey, if he didn't put a rematch clause in there,
that would have been a hell of a contract. I see why Wilder didn't sign. Because if he signed the initial contract that said, we're going to fight this first fight under my rules, even if I lose, I get to choose where the next fight is, and this is your money. And even if you lose, you don't get no rematch. If all that was in the first contract, that's a hell of a contract, man.
And now it's starting to come out. It's starting to come to light the dealings that people go with dealing with Eddie Hearn. You know what I'm saying? Like Eddie Hearn is one of those guys that is difficult. He will get lowball you real quick, have you out here looking like you a duck, and then a year or two or a few fights later, you know what I'm saying, an upset happened or whatever the fuck it may be, motherfucker started to reveal the contract like, well, shit, I see why the motherfucker didn't sign, because he'd have been signing his whole career away. But Hey, it's signed, sealed, delivered December 7th in Saudi Arabia. Hey, you know one thing that will get the people up there excited? Them damn Popeye's chicken sandwiches. The motherfuckers had my there. Have you had that doing good, then?
I'm so
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
I fly over there to the Middle East for a Popeye spicy chicken sandwich.
So you get 10 free sandwiches if you come out here.
So, okay. Yeah. I love to eat, but not that much. I ain't going to the Middle East, cuz. I ain't doing it, cuz. Nah, bro. It ain't that deep for me.
You know, some video holding a sign over the chicken sandwich like it ain't worth it, man.
Hell no. It's dry over here. Yeah, man.
Hey, them fighters and all their entourage, they gonna have security, not anybody else.
Hell yeah, cuz. Man, but we about to go to the next topic, man. One that my man Cheetah Head gonna love, because this is the fight I think me and him looking forward to the most in the month of September. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The month of September. No, oh shit, hold on. I almost spoke too soon. I had to look at the list. Well, we're gonna talk about that next. But no, we're gonna talk about Billy Joe Saunders. He tweeted out soon after the conclusion of the Kovalev Yarde fight that he would be willing to step up and face Sergey Kovalev at 175. I did an article on it. Y'all can check that out at 3kingsboxing.com. And it's interesting. He is the WBO super middleweight champion. So by him moving up to 175, that will put him smack dab in line for a title shot against the WBO 175-pound champion Sergey Kovalev. We all know, though, this is pending the decision by Canelo Alvarez, who has been hell-bent on facing Sergey Kovalev. And maybe after what we seen yesterday, we see why he wants him. But how do you think Billy Joe Saunders matches up at 175 against a 36-year-old Kovalev?
I think it's a good matchup. I don't think it's going to happen, though, because I don't think Kovalev's going to pay that no attention, because I don't think that's going to be no super big money fight for him. And honestly, I really think Kovalev's just looking for a payday, man, because everything he do, man, if he go roller skating, man, he better be careful. And so, he on borrowed time. And so, and like I say, man, he should have signed before he took his fighting trunks off yesterday. He should have been on the phone like Canelo, like, fax me the contract. I want to sign it right now.
Sign it right before I put these gloves on.
So even if the Canelo fight don't come through, and really that probably will come through. But you know what? I didn't like that fight, period, when Canelo came out of the blue with that, because it's like you got a whole lot of unfinished business in your own division, and you yourself said you wanted to unify. And if you unify, if you beat Charlo and then you beat Andrade, like, dude, that's Charlo will be a good money fight. It's good competition. You unify. You go down in history like a dog. Like, that's everything that you want as a fighter. And so for you to just ignore all of that to be like, I want this old drunk up here. Like, I didn't like that in the first place. And then now that he had the performance that he had yesterday, not that it's bad, but he's clearly on his last leg. And so if you keep avoiding these two young lions, one of which been chasing you for 3, 4, 5 years to go fight this dude who everybody is saying is on their last leg, like, I don't like that. But from Kovalev's standpoint, that's what he needs to be running to try to do. But I think Kovalev is looking to cash out. And I don't think Billy Joe is no cash out fight. And so I think Billy Joe, well, anybody, I don't want to say anybody, but any elite fighter around that area matches up good with Kovalev right now. And so, I mean, what that mean? But I don't think it's going to happen, and I definitely wouldn't push for it. Like, and if they said that was going to happen, I definitely wouldn't be excited for it, because, like I said, if Kovalev is going to go out, if he's going to get done dirty, like, I want to see a big fight. You know, I want to see a meaningful fight.
Yeah. What's good to my brother John JG Garner, man? Yeah, I agree. I mean, it has some intrigue because they polar opposite with styles. Kovalev relies on his jab and power. Saunders relies on movement and speed. So it'll be interesting to see if Saunders could maneuver his way close enough to be effective against a guy that doesn't need that much to put you on your ass. And his jab is just as powerful as his right hand. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask. Do you know what the difference in like height and length is between Kovalev and Billy Joe?
Let me look that up right now. Let me look it up. I know Kovalev taller.
That's the only thing that I think Kovalev got going against Alvarez is I know he's a lot taller and he's longer than that boy.
Damn, hold on. Kovalev is listed at 6 feet tall. He has a reach of 72 and a half. Let me look at Billy Joe Saunders.
I could have sworn that boy was taller than that.
Yeah, I thought he about 6'1", 6'2", but apparently not. Let me look at Billy Joe. Man, they motherfucker pull up every fucking thing. So what the hell? I guess he go by Billy. Hold on, what the fuck he go by? See, this some bullshit. Here you go. And Billy Joe, he 5'11" with they don't got his reach listed, but he's 5'11". So I mean,
well, no, that's about the same.
Yeah, but to your point about Canelo having unfinished business, so does Billy Joe Saunders. He just entered super middleweight, and you got Callum Smith. You signed over there with Matchroom for that. You know what I'm saying? Callum Smith is the WBA super middleweight champion. He's the consensus top guy, even though some people feel that, David Benavidez is that guy. A few feel like Caleb Plant is that guy. But, I mean, you don't need to be looking at Sergey Kovalev fight when you got unfinished business at your division. Hell, you didn't do jack shit really at 160. You got to win over David Lemieux, a fucking overrated Chris Eubank Jr., a fucking Willie Monroe, who's a disappointment. So, I mean, it's like, I believe that he can be really, really good. You know what I'm saying? But you can't be jumping back and forth in these weight classes without handling your business because you start to look like you scary. You know what I'm saying? You start to look like you just
been looking scary.
You said what now?
No, I said he's been looking scary. But those two names that you said, now I do know those are good fights, and I think those are good makeable fights. Those names you just said. And honestly, I would like to plant Billy Joe fight because again, there you got two slick style fighters, going against each other. I would like to see the way that lines up, and the Benavidez. I would like to see the Benavidez versus Billy Joe. I mean, if you're talking all that hot shit, for the same reason I would want to see Plant versus Benavidez because I think Benavidez is more straightforward. I'm coming to get you. And, where Plant is more elusive, I think that'd be the exact same thing with Benavidez and Billy Joe. And so any of them fights I would like to see. But like you say, man, you got plenty of action right there. And you got plenty of action right there in your own division without worrying about, this Stoli drinking Kovalev, man. So I just and like I say, man, you look thirsty. Man, ain't nobody thinking about you, man. Take care of what you need to do first, man. Ain't nobody trying to cash out with Billy Joe.
My man, Cheetah here. He said, "Forget Callum Smith." Because he named everybody except Callum Smith. He said, "Look, he the WBA champion, but you know what? We ain't worried about him right now. You know what I'm saying? You must don't think highly of him, man." But I mean, like I said, it is what it is, man. These fighters are gonna do what they want to do. But us media, us fans, we gotta demand that they fight the best, man. Because I'm tired of talking about these matchups, man. It's no way these guys still in their career. We discussing a hypothetical, a fantasy matchup. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, man, y'all right there with their 15 pounds of each other. You know what I'm saying? Take care of your business at 160. Take care of yours at 168. Drop back down to 160. Fight Andrade. Fight Golovkin. Fight Derevchenko, fight Canelo, or fight the guys in your division and then look to move up. Just because Billy Joe Saunders is a 2-division world champion don't mean jack shit. Because he beat Shifa Asafu to win that 168-pound title. So It is what it is, man. We about to move on to the next topic. This is the one I want to talk about right here in terms of an upcoming fight. And I know my man Cheetah Head love this fight. Shawn Porter promised to cut Errol Spence
I was so glad.
meet on September 28th in Los Angeles at the Staples Center. Now, I don't know what got into Shawn Porter. Maybe it's him not getting no cool lately, you know what I'm saying, because he in the midst of training, so he a little grumpy, you know what I'm saying? Maybe his dad picking out his outfits and shit the wrong way, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is. Maybe he missing that Ohio weather. It could be something like that, because that's your Ohio brethren, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But he up there straight up told Spence, I'm going to cut your ass, and if you don't think I'm that good, then you thought something wrong. And I'm like, where has this Shawn Porter been this entire career? Y'all might think he corny, but I like Shawn Porter, man. I like watching him fight, man. So what's your thoughts, man? Do you think that, you know, by him saying that, and Errol Spence pointed out, because I read your article, and you already put it out there that you believe that Errol Spence is planting the seeds in the minds of the referee, the judges, or whoever else, the fans, and everybody, that you look, if something go down and I look ugly with it, it's because the headbutts, the elbows, the dirty tactics. What's your thoughts on that, and then the response from Shawn Porter?
I don't think Spence is like trying to plant no seed. I think he was just talking. Like I think he was just talking, and that is something that comes with Shawn Porter fights. Is that he is, but that's one reason that I like. Not that he's dirty or nothing. But I like when you get in with Shawn Porter, people know you got to take that breath like you're about to go underwater, like, oh, shit, here we go. Because that motherfucker, he got skill, but he is bringing a rough-ass, grueling-ass, mauling-ass fight to your ass. And headbutts and all of that other shit just come with it. And so I think Errol was just speaking on facts. Like, you know, you cut people. But what the fuck made Shawn Porter say that? He didn't say when you feel this power. He didn't say when you experience my skill. He didn't say when I take you to deep waters. And he said it calm. He was just like, cut your ass. Like, this is Harlem Nights. Like, my like, yeah, that was just a super bad look. But honestly, my real opinion on it is to a degree, I think Spence is in his head. Well, I think Spence and the way people are treating him like he's just a stepping stone, he's just going to get ran over by Spence. I think that truly has gotten under Porter's skin, and he don't like that shit. Because I can't really think of no other fight in his career where people look at him like this. I think that's really bothering him. And I hope it don't affect the way he actually fight on fight night. But we're still about a month away or whatever. Like, and he's doing shit. He's talking like he ain't never talked before. He's saying crazy shit like this. He got his daddy out here low key lying and shit, talking about they had Spence hemmed up against the wall. Like, he is just, you know, playing it like Johnny Mumbles, which nobody believes. Like, to me, him and his daddy is kind of like a little bit out of character, and that ain't good. That ain't good going into a fight like this. But like I say, I really think that he just don't like the way people are talking, and I know he don't like the way Errol is talking, because Errol has repeatedly been up in his face like, I'm better than you, I'm going to beat you, I'm going to knock you out, and then all the pundits, all the fans seem to be co-signing that. Like, I really think it's just got under Shawn Porter's skin. But why the fuck that man was like, watch when I cut your ass. What you gonna do when I cut your ass? Like, really? That's the first thing you gonna say?
Hey, I mean, to me, I got this inclination, and I don't want to speak on it too much. I think this fight gonna be totally different than what a lot of people think. And I think that maybe he's in Errol Spence's head. You know what I'm saying? Because Errol Spence is already worrying about cuts. Look, man, you know what you signed up for when you fight Shawn Porter. So you should acknowledge it once and keep it moving. You constantly talking about it, It's like you bracing for it when you don't need to. You need to stick to your game plan. You need to focus on what you got to do. Do what you got to do to avoid it. I mean, you boxed great against Mikey. You know what I'm saying? Why can't you do that here? You know what I'm saying? You can use that jab. You can use them skills you displayed there to fight from the outside. You say you physically stronger, so when he get close in, you push his ass off. Or you give him a little shoulder. You know what I'm saying? I think that he's inside the head, or I think it's starting to bother him because he hasn't experienced that shit. He ain't experienced that rough tactic, head button, elbowing you, upper head cut. You know what I'm saying? It's like Berto has, Granados has, Danny Garcia has, Keith Thurman has, everybody else that's fought Shawn Porter has. And while Spence is genuinely confident, he's still uncertain as to what's going to go down. That could be a totally fucked up cut that happened. And it can come at a bad time where it goes to the cards and he ain't up. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of shit that can happen. You know what I'm saying? That cut can come at the worst possible time. Ask Marcus Brown, of course, with those knockdowns too against Pascal. So it's in his mind too, because you just know he's a physically rough and rugged motherfucker. And at this point, he's acting out because he know he has nothing to lose. I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, he's a WBC champion. If he doesn't win, there's a setback, but he's already lost. He's lost to Keith Thurman. He's lost to Kell Brook. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, shit, y'all disrespecting me. I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. And if I got to use my head, my elbows, along with body shots and head shots, then that's what's going to have to be done. So he giving them a forewarning that I'm cutting your ass. Whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying?
I still think that was a horrible thing. But no, I don't disagree with nothing you said.
I think it's horrible too.
I'm just shocked at how many people really do believe that Spence is just going to run this boy over. Like, ain't nobody never ran him over. And especially in his last couple of fights, him being Shawn Porter, he's been boxed a little bit. He done shown a little bit of versatility that he can run with, that he can box. He can fight on the outside a little bit. And Errol Spence just did the same thing. Where Mikey, he showed a boxing pedigree that he hasn't necessarily shown in a professional fight before. And then also, both of them have good power, but ain't neither one of them Deontay Wilder. Like, ain't nobody about to just one-hitter quitter, nobody. Yeah. Both of them kind of like grind you down. And so, like I say, it's not going to end early. It's definitely, barring like a cut or like you saying some freakish parachuter come in off the clouds or something, it's going to go deep, if not to the cards. And so, like, this is going to be a back and forth fight, man. I just, for either fans, I can't see people really believing that one or the other is just going to run the other dude over, man. That just, if that happens, man, I will be flabbergasted. Like that just, I can't see that happening.
I'll say this, man. I love Spence. He's a terrific fighter. But go back to his fight with Kell Brook. He wasn't dominant early in that fight. Come on now, man. So that's why you think people feel that Terrence Crawford would easily beat him. Come on now. Let's be real about it. Let's not be dick riders. I'm not talking about us two, but I'm talking about people that watch the fights, get beyond the fandom, break it down. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't able to stop Mikey Garcia. In his first fight at welterweight, he wasn't able to stop him.
The only thing I'll say about that, he didn't stop him. The only thing I will say about that is Mikey Garcia was fighting in survival mode for a large chunk of that fight. And, for a top flight elite fighter, he wasn't trying to win no more. Yeah. He was trying not to get knocked out and trying to get his corner not to stop the fight. Now, had Mikey Garcia been fighting, like, I think he would have got stopped. But I agree with everything you said. Like, Errol Spence is a top flight fighter. But again, man, people be thinking this shit is a video game or like a Hollywood movie. Like, I know but it ain't going down like that, man. It's not going down like that.
And if it do, we'll get on the show and say we were completely wrong. Either way.
And like I say, man, if Errol Spence runs Shawn Porter over, like Shawn Porter ran
Paulie Malignaggi.
EJ, like Paul Malignaggi over. Man, he's my number one welterweight, man. Over Crawford, all of that. But I can't see that, man. He gonna have to show me that before I give him credit for it.
If he stopped Shawn Porter at any point in this fight, because I got a feeling, but I can't wait. I got to start studying this shit, man. I can't wait to break this fight down, man. Because this shit, I got a fucking inclination that this fight gonna be. If you fall asleep on it, you gonna wake up like how you did with Manny Pacquiao. Oh, well, Shawn Porter won. What you mean he won? So that's all I'm gonna say, man. Final topic. Tunde Ajayi failed Anthony Yarde as a trainer. He did. And if you're from the UK watching this, you know it's the truth and nothing but the truth. He came out, said that they don't spar. His advice, while it was solid, he didn't implore him to continue to fucking go to the body. He didn't tell him, Yarde, young lion, hold that motherfucker. Do something when you hurt. Reserve your energy, not to consistently jab, not jab to the body, to stagnate him, then take it up top. He didn't give him the proper enough instructions that you heard Bertie McGirt was saying. He's like, look, hey, don't worry about the headshot. Just keep jabbing, going to the body. He's there. You know what I'm saying? And he just failed him. He showed that amateur night was last night in Russia. It was just an embarrassment on all that shit he talked. And I thought he was coming with more than that. I thought he had like 20 game plans. I thought he had 20. Oh, that ain't working. All right, got 19 more. Don't worry about it, Anthony. And yet, he didn't employ his man when the going got tough to do the things that an experienced, intelligent trainer would tell his father to do. And for that, and the lack of fucking having him spar, talking about he think the trainer should be the one that do. Man, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here, bro. I mean, he just failed him as a trainer. I think he needs a new trainer. I'm not saying kick Ajayi out of the corner completely, but he need to have in somebody else that has a different approach, and maybe they can fuse their training methods together and see what works best for Yarde. But for Yarde to reach his true potential, he's going to have to either take control of his team and say, look, we need to get some motherfuckers in here to spar with me. Because looking at film, that's why I came up short. Because if I would have had that experience, I probably would be the champion right now. I probably would have known to hold on, to go to the body early and often. Because he didn't say anything. He didn't go to the body until late in the fight. And we all know that it's one of Kovalev's biggest weakness. He didn't, that was not, it was just headshot. It was check hooks up top, right hands. It was no body working to the 7th, 8th round. And by that time, he blew his load and never really recovered, man. Shame on Tunde Ajayi. What's your thoughts?
You know what? I think I'm not going to completely dog Tunde. The only reason I say I want to dog him is because, to my knowledge, that's basically been Yarde's only real coach. And so if Yarde did as good as he did do, and we're giving him credit, then you got to give Tunde credit for getting him at least to that level. And so I'll give him that credit. And then also, I think they both were learning on the job in Russia. Yarde was learning on the job in the ring, and Dude was learning on the job outside the ring. And so, yeah, they both showed that they were lacking. And I'm not going to say that he don't need to improve a whole lot himself. But like I said, I ain't going to throw him completely under the bus. But I do agree with like what you say. I don't think he's going to get rid of him. No way. Because they seem to be too bubblegum tight. But I do agree if they pull like a because I know Broner, he has Stafford and he brings in
Cunningham.
Yeah, so they got like a dual coach type thing, and I want to say Shawn Porter has done the same thing. Well, he'll have his father and then he'll bring in what's his name, Barry Hunter, and so I think something like that would be cool to bring in, just a different perspective. I think a different perspective will always help, most people. But I would just be curious to see what adjustments they're gonna make going forward, because pride tells me they're not gonna start sparring. If they did, I would personally be surprised. But I think, especially Tunde, because he done talk so much shit. And I'm a kung fu master and all of this shit, and this is my student. I don't think they're going. And in fact, I watched an interview this morning where he flat out said, "What we did, there's nothing wrong with how we prepared." And so he said, "There's no real need to change anything." And so I didn't like the sound of that because clearly there is a need to change something. You didn't win, motherfucker, and so. You need to change something, whether it's A, B, or C. You need to change something, and so, like I say, I'll give him credit for obviously preparing him to do as well as he did do. But they both need to make some adjustments, and they both need to make some changes. But one, he just needs to shut the fuck up, man. The people who don't fight, like the Freddie Roaches and the
Kenny Porter and all them motherfuckers.
Stuff like y'all ain't fighting, man. Shut the fuck up, man. Because y'all making it harder on your fighters.
And like I was saying, I mean, yeah, you got a point. What he did works up to this point, but damn, no, this was the biggest moment. You was going. I mean, I know Kovalev 36 years old, but dude, like. Even if it went the distance, you was gonna get robbed in Russia. So going to the body early now would have prevented it. Would have been better because you would have left no doubt. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, no train. I mean, these guys. You're not gonna continue to fight older. You know what I'm saying? 36-year-olds. No. Dimitri Bivol. You're gonna need a sparring fucking partner for that. Alexander Usyk, not Usyk, Gavazic, Arthur Beterbiev winner. You're gonna need a motherfucking some sparring partners. When the motherfuckers, Caleb Plant and Callum Smith and David Benavidez move up, you're gonna need some motherfucking sparring partners. So at the end of the day, I mean, you gonna need to be well prepared, better prepared, because these people know this. They know this. You know what I'm saying? They know it. I just think that he being stubborn. Even when you win, you make changes. Let alone when you lose. I mean, it was just Ward said it best. He was 2-3 punches away from winning, but he was in reality he was a ways away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I didn't like I say, man. I felt the same before and after the fight. Going into the fight, I felt like Tunde was talking too much shit, and Yarde was pretty much just sounding confident. And after the fight, I think Tunde is talking too much shit, and Yarde is still sounding confident. And so I hope he was just capping for the cameras, and he plans on making some adjustments. But if he go and lose, and then they really do 100% the same thing they've been doing, like that's just terrible, man. That's just terrible. But like I say, my main thing on it all is I have no faith that he's gonna get rid of his trainer. And so for as much as we say that that's what he should do, like I just don't think that's gonna happen. And so it's just about what they're gonna do together. But to me, and so again, I think Tunde should get some credit for as prepared as he was. But they need to make some changes, man. They need to make some changes. And my number one thing is sparring is good, but my thing is his conditioning. Is he needs to lose some of that muscle, and he needs to because again, even like with the Estrada fight, granted Beamon wasn't the most experienced guy himself. I'm sure he sparred, and but he was making far more technical mistakes in that ring than was Yarde. And so, but it was Yarde's stamina to me that gave out on him more than anything else. And like you say, even with the going to the body, yes, experience will help. But shit, we knew 2 years ago to go to his body. Everybody in the fucking world knew to go to his body. If you had never put a pair of boxing gloves on in your life, if you would have advised somebody, what should he do? They'd be like, go to the body. Like, everybody knew to do that. And so I really think his biggest deficit at this point or his biggest hole in his game is his stamina. And then again, that shoulder roll shit. Like, stop shoulder rolling for 12 rounds, man. You got to do shit, man.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I'm gonna say I ain't gonna say he should get a new trainer, but he needs to take control of his career. I mean, he needs to say, "Look, we need to spar." Well, I mean, you ain't got to spar a whole whatever, but you need to get some sparring in, whether it's early in camp or later in camp or in the middle of camp. Something you need to get some sparring, lose some of that muscle mass, and increase your endurance and your stamina. Add some finesse to your game. Get out of that Mayweather fucking defense because it don't work for you. You know what I'm saying? Be consistent with your jab, work the body, and you know what I'm saying, and just be a well-rounded fighter. You know what I'm saying? So take control of your career because you don't want taking those punches. That motherfucker at the end of the day, he ain't gonna have no fucking Parkinson's or no fucking fucking stutter. You know what I'm saying? So while it's cool, he love you, whatever, you gotta look out for yourself. And to better prepare yourself and create an everlasting legacy, you need to employ sparring, better conditioning, lose some muscle mass, sharpen up your skills, bring in somebody that got a different POV that sees things that maybe Tunde doesn't see, maybe you don't see, and then go back to work, man. With that being said, we hope you all enjoyed this live. We're gonna try to do this at least once every week. We also go live on YouTube, so make sure y'all subscribe to Colossal Sports TV on YouTube. Turn those notifications to be notified on there. Turn them on to be notified here. Make sure you check out 3kingsboxing.com daily for your latest and greatest updated, unfiltered, unbiased boxing news and information reported the way it should be. Follow 3 Kings on Twitter at 3 Kings Boxing, Instagram at 3 Kings Boxing, like the Facebook page 3 Kings Boxing. Cheetah Head, let them know where they can find you, man, on social media.
You can find me on Twitter at Bakari Simpson, and actually on Instagram you can find me at Bakari Simpson 444 or Cheetah Head LLC. Both of them all one word. And of course 3kingsboxing.com for the latest and the greatest in this boxing news.
Yeah, Wednesday we're gonna be back talking about Luke Campbell, Vasil Lomachenko. Can Campbell pull up the upset? We'll give y'all our thoughts on Wednesday. Until next time, we are out. Peace.
Peace, man.